Hi friends, welcome back to Codfidence, a channel for you to learn coding with confidence. My name is Binu and today we are going to learn about Python interactive shell and IDLE. Python interpreter can read commands from a terminal or keyboard. In this mode, the interpreter is set to be in interactive mode and is also called Python interactive shell. The prompt where we type in the command is displayed as 3 greater than signs. In interactive mode, the interpreter takes a single command or multi-line code block at a time, executes it immediately, and shows the result. After executing the given command or statement, it waits for the next command with the prompt. The interactive mode of Python shell is also referred to as read eval print loop, in short REPL environment, where the shell reads the command just given, evaluates and executes the given command, prints the result on the screen, and loops back and repeats all the steps starting from reading when the next command is given. Python interactive shell is not meant for developing applications with Python. For developing applications, we need to write and save the code as Python script files, normally with extension .py. The interactive shell can be used for learning basic syntax of Python language constructs, to test code segments without creating a file, and to check availability of Python packages. Python is bundled with an integrated development and learning environment, in short IDLE. IDLE is an application coded in entirely Python using tkinter GUI toolkit, and it works mostly the same on all operating systems. IDLE contains a shell window and an editor window. We can open multiple editor windows at a time containing code of our applications. Using the run menu in the editor window, we can execute the code and see the result in the shell window. So let us start experimenting with Python command line interpreter or Python shell. To open Python shell, we can search cmd and click on command prompt. Or we can use Windows Run option, where we can type in the name of a program and Windows will locate and open that program. To open Run dialog, we can use the shortcut window key +R and type in there cmd and press enter, which will open the command prompt. There you can type the command Python and press enter. And we have already seen that in the last video, we can type in simple mathematical expressions in the prompt. And when press enter, the shell will evaluate the expression. And the result is printed. Let us type in one more expression and print the result. Type in 2 plus 3 into 4 and press enter, and we get the result 14, which is the sum of 2 and 12. That is, the value 3 is multiplied by 4 and the product 12 is added with 2. And thus we get final result as 14. Suppose we want to add 2 and 3 first and then multiply that result with 4. To do that, we can group together 2 plus 3 and place them inside the brackets, which is called parenthesis. When processing the expression, this part is evaluated first and the sum 5 is multiplied by 4, giving the final result as 20. We can use parentheses in expressions to change the order of evaluation of the expression. To print some information on the screen, we can use the print function of Python. Let us type in some text, say, "Welcome to Python here," and press enter. The Python shell prints the text "Welcome to Python" on screen. Print is a function in Python which can be used to print any information on screen. And this text "Welcome to Python" enclosed between double quotes is called a string, which is a data type in Python language and can store any characters like alphabets, digits, etc. Whereas the values 2, 3 and 4 all are considered as numeric data. And we will learn more about these features, data types, operators, functions and strings in the coming videos. The purpose of this video is to introduce how to operate with the Python shell and using Python IDLE. We can change the font face or font name, increase the font size, change background color, change text color and change the width and height of this Python shell window. To do that, right click on the title bar of the window, then click on Properties, select a font from font list and choose a font size from size list. Click on the Layout tab to change width and height of the window. You can change the width and height values as you needed. The width and height values can be set on two places, one in screen buffer size group and the other in window size group. Set value of width to 90. The height value in screen buffer size represents the maximum number of lines the window can hold. And the maximum value we can enter for height is 9999. The height value in window size group represents the number of lines that we can see on the screen at a time. Set this value to 30. Normally, the value of both the width properties are set to the same value, both in the window size group and in the screen buffer size group. So let it be 90 in both places. Next, click on the Colors tab. Click on the screen background option. Then we can either select a color from the palette or type in values for red, green and blue color components in the text boxes directly. For example, let's change the values to 204, 0 and 102 respectively. The background color is changed to a dark rose color. Next, click on screen text and set a suitable color for the text. The text color is now changed to off-white. Change the blue value to 0 so that the text is changed to a yellow color. Spend a little time experimenting with these color values as it is an essential skill for an application developer. We can also change the opacity of the window so that when we place the window on top of other windows, we can see through this window. Now let's have a look on the change in opacity of the window. Now click on OK button to apply the changes that we have made. You can see that the changes are applied on the window. Make these changes if you want to work comfortably with the shell window. Now to exit from the interactive shell, type in the function exit and press enter. As this is a function, do not forget to add parentheses after the word exit. Now we are back on the command prompt. If you don't want to proceed further, you can close the command prompt. Next, we are going to learn Python IDLE. And to open Python IDLE, type in IDLE in the search option and select IDLE app, which will open a shell window in GUI mode. Here you can type and evaluate mathematical expressions, as we do in the case of Python interactive shell. The result is already printed here. To print some text on screen, we can use the print function as usual. I will type Python is easy to learn here within quotes, which represents a string, and the function is executed and the text is printed below the prompt. The advantage of Python IDE is that it contains both a shell and an editor window, and now we are seeing the editor window, which is something like a GUI implementation of Python command line user interface with additional features. To open editor window, select new file option from the file menu, which opens a new editor window. We can add Python code here and save the code file with extension .py. Later we can run the code, which is also referred to as Python script, using the run module option in run menu. Now let me add some code here. Say print within double quotes first code file, then click on run module. The pop-up message says source must be saved. The default location for saving code files in IDE is the installation folder of Python. It's not a good idea to save and store our code files inside the installation folder. The recommended way of saving code files is to create a dedicated folder and store all the code files there. So let me create a folder to store our code files. Choose a disk drive such that it contains more free space to store files. To create a new folder, click in the file list and use shortcut Ctrl+Shift+N. Give a suitable name to the folder, say Python Lab. Press enter twice. Now the folder is created and opened at once. Next, click in file name and give a suitable file name. Let it be first.py. It is not necessary to add .py. It will be added by IDLE itself. Now click on save button to save the file. The text first code file is displayed in the shell window, which is the output of print function. Again, select the editor window and add more code lines there. Let's add another print statement. Add the text Python IDE is working properly. Before running the code, once again save the file. The shortcut is Ctrl+S. Now run the code either by clicking on the option Run Module or by using shortcut F5. The shell window displays output of both the print functions in our code file. We can open multiple editor windows at a time. Click on New File option in File menu. So this is code window 1. And this is the second window we just opened. And some statements in the second window also. A equals 10 and B equals 20. Now add code to print the sum of these two variables, A plus B. Print A plus B. Then save the file as we did in the previous case. Click on F drive. And select Python Lab folder. Type in file name, say sum, and the extension is added by IDLE. Then click on the save button. Now run the module by using run menu or using the shortcut F5. And the result is displayed in Python shell window. We can also configure the shell window and editor window. For that, click on the options menu and select configure IDLE option. In the dialog box, we can change the font face and let us choose the console as font and select 14 as the font size. If we click on the apply button, we can see that the font face and font size is changed in the shell window. Now click on the highlights tab, and using this tab we can change the theme of shell and editor windows. The default theme is named as Ideally Classic, and let us change the name to Ideally Dark. The theme preview is shown in the left panel. Now click on the Apply button, and you can see the change in color of both shell and editor windows. The background and text color is changed in shell window in all open editor windows. So Python ideally helps us to work with multiple code windows at a time, and we can configure both the shell and editor windows using configure ideally option. When running the code files, all the results are displayed in the same shell window. Once again, change the value of variables in the sum.py code file and run the script. The new output is displayed in the shell window, and we get the result as 300. We can use other code editors like PyCharm or Genie for developing Python applications, but for beginners it is good to use an editor like Genie, which is a free and open source lightweight code editor. We will be almost using Genie as the editor for coding in this series. We will learn more about code editing in the coming videos. Now press Alt F4 to close each and every open windows. So thanks for watching. Share your thoughts and add valuable sessions in the comment section. Like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. See you in the next video. Have a nice day.